Hello everyone, I just wanted to create a little tutorial on how I learned how to make plucks that actually sound softer and usable in a track and actually sound like the plucks that deadmau5 used back in the day. So we all know that he pretty much would make plucks using saw waves, not too amazing. I'll turn this down because it's going to be super loud. So that's pretty much the foundation. We all know this. Create a filter, put an envelope on there to create the pluck sound. So that's pretty much there, but there's a subtlety to it that is necessary in order to make it really flow in a track and in order for it to not be super sharp in your ears when you're hearing it. So the way I learned this is, so you have your first envelope on the cutoff as usual, but then I take the envelope 1, which is the amp envelope of the entire synth, and I give it just a little bit more attack. So this will soften that pluck sound. So if I throw on just a little bit of processing, just some delay, reverb, LFO shaper, turn on a little kick, that's what we get. So without this envelope 1 pushing the pluck a little bit to the right, it sounds pretty sharp. When you get to mastering, that sharp attack is really going to start to hurt your ears, because when you're pushing everything up, squashing it, it's going to sound super harsh. And deadmau5's plucks back in the day, they had this little like swoop into them. It was almost like a string pluck sound instead of just the synthy gross nonsense. So I also have the Raise Your Weapon MIDI going on here. Oh, whoops. Turn off this automation real quick. Now for this track, you might want a little sharper attack. It's all about adjusting this. So another thing I like to do, this is what I had with the macro, is I'll throw a macro onto this aux source, and this is the cutoff filter being modulated by envelope 2. So putting this here means that when this macro is all the way up, the envelope is doing its job 100%. If I turn it down, the envelope is not affecting this cutoff anymore. So this just gives you another level of control over the synth if you want to like introduce the sound. Also, if you want to transition from a pluck sound to a sustained open sounds, you could have the pluck going, and then as it's going, you modulate the macro down while pushing the cutoff up. So let's just do that automation real quick. Suppose you want it to do this at the end of a phrase. So it's this big climactic thing, and everyone loves you. and then you drop it. So that was just a quick little tutorial, just to go over it again and summarize. You want to have one envelope being your main cutoff envelope. This is for the standard Pluck sound. But what makes it a deadmau5 Pluck sound is having this envelope 1 also engaged, and you're pushing the attack a little bit forward. So you're softening up that initial attack sound, creating this little swoop into it. It's almost like a string sound. Gives you that classic deadmau5 Pluck sound. It's very soft and nice to hear, and it just sounds better. So I hope you liked this tutorial. More to come. Check out my remakes if you haven't had a chance. And thank you for listening.